All right, it's another beautiful day, another beautiful Sunday of the year. Maybe. Yes, I am Ogunkayode Kabiru O, and people call me Mr. Egalitarian, and I welcome you to the show Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian, powered by Solution Dreamers Network. We've been there, we've been working all along. We've started this program, and believe me, today we've gone the whole wide world, we've toured everywhere, and we are happy today that we're making impact in lives, and we're actually locating people who are doing something great all over the world. Today promises to be fantastic, educative, informative, and mind blowing. Maybe some kind of comedy. Yeah. That was a delight to note. Yeah, Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian is back. And we've been working all along. We've been towering, doing all sort of programs here and there because on the Solution Dreamers Network, we have so many things that we've been doing. And believe me, we are just there. And we'll be making impact, at Solution Dreamers Network, we anchor programs, we write, we do so many things. The only thing that is there is that you just have to get to us if you really want your angle to be catered for or to be done for. So we're just actually making things work, in and out, trying to put things together. And, we can only serve our customers better if we do the right thing at the right time. And that's why Mr. Egalitarian has always been there to give it to you big. And we're not, going to stop doing that because that's what we are born to do. And you know what? I love that. So that is us for that. Yeah. Expos'It with Mr. Egalitarian on the Solution Dreamers Network features so many things. We're talking about business, we're talking about career, we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're talking about leadership and mentorship, we're talking about relationship and family, and we're talking about culture and tradition. Then we'll talk about brand promotion. We promote your brand for you, all right? We promote your brand for you. Any business you're doing that is legitimate, or they call it legit, yeah, we're here to give it, a recognition locally and globally for you. And don't forget that most of the things that we do here, we anchor events. Your event is going to be a wow. If we are there for you, you're going to love the idea because we don't do petty events. We go with smooth events. I love that. So that's just it. You understand? So we're trying to put things together to make sure that we give it to you big. And we believe that you're going to be happy when you get to do business with us. Then again, we write content. If you have a content you want to put together about your business, about your organization, and you're confused about how to go about it, just let us know. We're going to do it for you. We're going to do it for you. It's very easy. You have a conference you want to anchor, you have a seminar you want to coordinate, and you don't know how to manage it, just call on us. We're going to manage everything for you. We're good at that. We're not doing anything than to just make you happy, because when you're happy, we are happy, the whole world is happy. And that is for that. Now today we're going to be talking about something very fabulous. We've been working all across, moving here and there to make sure that things work very well. And this life just have to make things work very fine. And that's why we are here for you anytime. Now, I've told you, Solution Dreamers Network is an organization aimed at educating youth and adults globally while awakening the business and innovative ideas in them. Also promoting emerging brands for profitability and for local and global relevance. And again, Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian once again is a show that features remarkable and functioning youth personalities globally with traceable records while learning from their experience and contribution to global development in all fields of relevance. And no matter where you are, we're going to find you. So today we're going to be talking about something different. We're going to be talking about global relevance and personality development. Yes, how relevant are you globally? Your personality development. How have you been developing yourself? What are you lacking? What are you lagging? All right. What you lack is different from what you lag. All right. So things we're going to be putting it together, well, interwoven, but we're not going to be depending everything on that topic today, as we're going to be bringing somebody, a vibrant Indian youth from Punjabi. Her name, Lavpreet Kaur from Punjabi. She's already in the studio now. We're going to bring her in. And as we do, believe me, today is going to be a wow. And I want you to set yourself right in a place. Get a popcorn and we'll move on because it's going to be a blow everything. And you're going to love it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing to you Lavpreet Kaur from Punjabi, India, into the studio right now.
Hi.
Hi,
Kabiru.
how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty fine.
I'm pretty fine, thank you so much.
I was
Yeah,
listening to
could
this.
you put on your camera, please?
Hey, can you see me?
Hey, can you see me?
No, I can't see you.
Well, the camera is on.
The camera is on.
Kindly put on your camera on the boxes there. You see the mic, the camera, the whole place is dark.
Oh, no. I can see myself.
I can see myself.
The camera, the whole place is dark over there, so you need to, maybe the environment or something is blocking your camera. Check it very well.
No, I can see myself.
Okay?
You can see yourself from there.
Yeah, I can see myself. My voice is
Because your voice is only showing and your camera is not showing. It's showing a dark image. It's very dark there. Okay, why Carl fixed that? Now I want to tell you that in global relevance, what is that thing you're doing that people are, actually seeing that is making the world a better place for everyone to see? All right, what is that you're doing that people are actually making it? They're seeing example from you. They're getting content from you, content that is worth getting. All right. Okay, yes, I can actually see you right now. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, we're talking about Lavpreet Kaur, Punjabi breed from India. You can see a very beautiful young lady. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Okay, how come we're using glasses together? You never told me you're gonna use your glasses.
If it was a live event, I would have avoided the glasses.
Okay, all right. So, all right. So,
you could just use headphones.
I cannot hear you.
I am able to hear my. So it would be better if you could use echo. Yeah.
Okay, you're hearing your echo. All right. So don't worry. Let me fix that. Okay. All right. What about now?
Yeah. Oh, pretty good. Amazing. We're good to go.
Very good now. Okay. All right. No.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So now, we're gonna start in a second now. So, we're gonna get along. So I want you to be a bit audible so that we can actually get you. All right. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you can hear me very well now.
Yeah, I can hear you very well now. Absolutely amazing. This is good. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to recite Lavpreet's citation right now, and I want us to actually listen very well because she's a very vibrant young Indian with a very classy representation. So we're going to do that now. I want us to listen very well. Ladies and gentlemen, Lavpreet Kaur, a Punjabi breed in India, from India, is a graduate in electronics and communication engineering, who is also currently pursuing a master's degree in mass communication and journalism. She is a content writer with a vast experience in distinct industries, including education, food, healthcare, IT, digital marketing, travel, counseling, psychology, human values, and entertainment. She is an expert in blogs, articles, website content, social media content, banners, brochures, ebooks, and other promotional content, including proofreading. Whenever you think about creative marketing and guest posts in any other field like SEO optimized, plagiarism, free content with guarantee, think core. Apart from the aforementioned, Kaur is a student researcher with reasonable experience in wireless sensor networks and communication engineering. She is an active public speaker, predominantly in motivation, career, counseling, and global issues. She participates in youth campaigns and international conferences for idea sharing. Aside that, she is proactively working with several NGOs in parallel domains, including environment, health, and education. A passionate educator who could teach students from junior classes up to college in engineering and technology. She is also a podcaster and she runs her own show called CD Bat, which is a creative concept connecting youth leaders across the globe. It is a platform for youth to come up and share their views, suggestions, and solutions for social problems and other domains of public interest. She owns a blog where she writes about mental health, life, and happiness. As the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations Youth India, which is the pioneer organization of youth of India, officially registered under the United Nations 75. She was invited to various national level conferences and campaigns to voice our opinion about climate change, education, and animal protection. Lavpreet Kaur is a blessing to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Lavpreet Kaur, a breed from India. You're welcome once again.
Well, thank you so much. That was such a wonderful introduction. I was not expecting so much in an introduction. But thanks a lot,
Uh,
and hi everybody. I wish you all a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever is your time zone, respectively. And I hope you all are doing well.
all right, all right. So, yes, okay. Now it's question time. It's show time. It's the time we've all been waiting today. Is gonna witness what we want to do because it's all about global relevance. It's all about personality development. It's all about youth getting involved in activities all over the world, and which is why Lavpreet Kaur is here today, all the way from India. People of India, I love them. So I believe they are good people, they are great people, and all over the world they've been representing. So I'm just happy about that. All right. Now to the question of the day, Lavpreet, apart from your profile, apart from what we just cited about you today, who is Lavpreet socially, emotionally, in terms of relationship with people, and among others? Who is Lavpreet?
Well, my name, Lovepreet, is a combination of two words, love and preet, right? So Preet is the Hindi name for love. Preet means love. So both the words combined is love and love. There's a lot of love. And that defines my relationship with people. I'm a very simple person, a very simple person at heart, who absolutely takes care of all the relationships he has. I'm very protective and sensitive about people I love. And in the section of people I love, everything comes. I mean, there is nobody I don't love, precisely. So even you have met me or you have not met me, even if you have done something for me or not done something for me, I'll always be there to help you out in all ways I can. And I love you. There's unconditional love that I'm spreading out. And I absolutely justify my name, although it was given to me when I didn't even know the meaning of it. But maybe my parents thought about me absolutely correctly. And that's why I think my name personifies my personality. And It's just a lot of love I have for people. I value everybody's emotions. I value everybody's presence in my life. I value everybody's non-presence as well. So it's that kind of an emotion I share with everyone. And I think a lot of people who know me also think that I'm socially very active. I connect with people very easily, and I'm a very yeah, I'm a very protective person when it comes to people, relationships, love, and everything.
Wow, that's a very good one. All right. So, yeah, we understand the fact that in life we have to be protective. Despite the fact that we want to relate with people, we have to define our relationship and make everything work in accordance to how we want it, so that we are not going to regret it afterwards. That's a very beautiful one. I love that. Okay. Now, how does it feel to be a journalist, considering the fact that fake news is everywhere? Except some invaluable media organization around the world. You know, we have fake news almost everywhere, and it's affecting every nation, organization, in fact, as an individual and family generally. So, how does that make you feel as an upcoming journalist?
Yeah. So ever since I was young, I think I was very passionate about being a journalist. It's not a decision that I took out of maybe pressure, or I just took out of seeing what benefits I'll get out of this profession. But I was always passionate about reaching out to people, communicating with masses through different expressions. So, for people who think that mass communication and journalism at first is only about reporting or giving out news, I would say it's a broad field that in comprises of a lot of things, right? So there is everything. There is theater, there is art, there is so many things in so many ways in which you can give out the message, deliver facts to people, right? Talking about journalism in the sense news reporting and media specifically, I think the situation right now is not at all good. And you know why it took me 4 years to switch from engineering to journalism was also this particular reason, that my mom did not find this profession very safe for females, right? Not alone for females, in fact, even for men, at least in India. The situation of media in India is pitiable, I should say. It's very pitiable. And in these hard times, thinking of being a journalist, of course, is a risk, of course, because you're never sure that you're gonna get a space in this industry, and you don't want to get a space in the way industry is providing you. You want to go all out, very different. You want to be an ethical journalist. At the first place, being an ethical journalist is a challenge, and then putting yourself in the industry against all the odds is another big challenge, where sometimes the future seems bleak, but you have to trust yourself, you have to trust the process, right? And as far as fake news is concerned, I think ever since the advent of social media, uh, I would say everybody is a journalist today. So all of us have the privilege, have the rights, have everything, all the resources to put out whatever information we want, right? Now, having said that, when this thing gives us the power to be journalists, to be information givers, it also gives you a responsibility which most of us deny, or we don't want to understand, right? And that's why fake news, this whole thing, this whole trauma has emerged. I personally feel, while being a responsible journalist, you also have to be a very responsible consumer, right? So when resources have been given to you, when power has been given to you to probably disseminate whatever kind of information you want to disseminate, and you can actually affect the masses today, you can actually impact them. I think it's in your hands to decide what you want to forward. So before forwarding anything on WhatsApp, or before forwarding anything on, let's say, any other social media platform, the is to understand, is this even relevant? Is this something that should be forwarded? I mean, you have to question yourself. And then, me as a consumer, I have to think that what I'm reading right now, is this believable? Is this credible? Don't I not shouldn't I just recheck this? Don't I have to once get this confirmed if this piece of news presented to me as news is right or wrong, right? So there is a lag from both the sides, I feel, and there is a lack of responsibility and lack of duty from both the angles. And in this situation, to be very honest, I sometimes do feel bleak. I feel empty. I feel scared. Will I be able to do what I want to do? Because the industry is overpowering, and they want you to work according to their conditions. And I'm talking about India specifically, but I'm very sure a lot of countries have a dent in media. I'm pretty sure about that. So, a lot of things are happening, and in that situation, it feels it's a challenge, of course, but at the same time, I think taking up challenges and doing something which is not so easy has always been my thing. I've always loved to be in a profession that's a little, difficult to tangle and difficult to manage, a little adventurous sort of. And I never wanted a very simple life, to get into a 9 to 5 job and then to come home to have a very safe lifestyle. Of course, I want a safety, security, and sense of peace in my life, but then I always wanted to experiment a lot. And this profession gives me all the chances to, go all about it and try to do new things and try to face challenges every single day. Also, it gives me an opportunity to do something new every single day. I don't have to wake up with the same goals every day. And so I absolutely am enjoying this process of becoming a journalist, and I really hope I can actually transform the media industry.
Wow, that's a very beautiful one. I love the submission you gave, and I was listening to you when you mentioned the fact that people should actually check what they
Yes.
want to disseminate as information before they actually
Yeah.
disseminate it. People, especially the social media today, people are actually crazy. When they see information, they don't want to look at it, they don't want to know where it's coming from, they share. And before they share, they don't actually check anything and they just put it there, which is causing social vices today. And it has spoiled a lot of personality,
To add
organization,
here,
family, and all that.
Kabir, I think journalists like us, like you or me, we just have one thing different from other people, and that's a license to probably enter into a situation where only journalists, the licensed ones, are allowed. Otherwise, I think everybody has all the resources to put out information, right? And what is a journalist? He's a person who just gathers information, checks for credibility, and then puts it forward in front of people. Everybody is being a journalist without following the middle rule. That means to check it, to verify it. They're just gathering information and forwarding it, putting it forward. So yes, and that is why I think it's very important for all of us to together understand the responsibility of being a information disseminator, and also the responsibility and duty of being an information taker. It's very, very important.
That's a very good one. I really love that. I love that a lot from you, and I really appreciate the fact that you could do justice to that because many people over there in this whole wild world don't actually know what that is, and that is currently happening in every country in the whole globe. So I know people are listening to you right now, and they're going to bear witness. So let's move on. Let's move on with that. Thank you so much. All right, now you have done many things in combination: psychology, health, as volunteering. Now, among others, now, how have you been able to manage your time, having known that you are pursuing your master's degree currently? So, how did you put the time together? How did you balance yourself?
Well, that's a pretty good question, and that's the question almost everybody asks me. I think before answering this question practically and logically, I think one thing which I would like to add in here is it's all thanks to God. I'm a big believer of God, and I think that energy that you have in you enables you to do a lot of things at one point in time. It's it's very, very hard to multitask. It's very hard to go about things and do things correctly when you don't have that energy, that alignment, that level of concentration in you. It's very important, right? And as far as multitasking is concerned, I think ever since I was a kid, my parents, they put me in everything. They never stopped me from doing anything. So I was always a good student. And apart from that, my parents were very conscious about the fact that I should get into dancing, singing, painting. I should go for physical activity. I should go for playing. I should be an athlete and whatnot. So ever since I was a student, I think in class second or third, I've been doing a lot of things, a lot of things. I've been practicing Kathak. I've been doing a lot of sports. I've been playing badminton. I was an athlete, and I was this charmer girl, always, speaking here and there and performing on the stage and just going all out there and speaking to people. So that really helped me shape my personality, I would say. My parents really helped me in that. Apart from that, in the last 4 years, I was living in the hostel, So everything just came on me suddenly. So from that dear moms and dads little girl, I suddenly became a very responsible woman who had to handle everything from her laundry to her how she's dressing up to how she's
Wow.
talking to people to how she's managing 24 hours in a day to how she's cooking and stuff. So those 4 years were a big breakthrough in my life. I learned a lot of things. I learned to live an independent life, and that's when I also got amazing friends and an amazing mentor who just put me and engaged me in a lot of things, different things, just for me to experiment and to take the flavor of everything. And in that, in that phase of taking flavor of everything, I just got so used to multitasking, and I was always, so touched and so inspired by people. The number of times I met new people, I used to think, "Oh my God! I mean, how does this person think, and how is this person different from me in this regard, or how is this person similar with me in this regard?" So that brought me into psychology. When I was in high school, like every teenager who's a really, confused and boring teenager, I would say. I was one boring teenager who did not have an absolutely interesting or controversial life. And given the fact I never got a chance to experiment with myself, but I've seen a lot of people who underwent a number of emotions, who had number of issues when they were young. Youth in general, having issues about their mental health, having issues about their relationships, having issues about their own image of themselves. People were body shamed and stuff. So this brought my attention to the fact that I should probably study human brain. How are we so different from each other? How do we relate with each other? How is everything working behind this? What is happening exactly, right? How do we mess up and then how do we get up again? So all of this fascinated me so much, and I started doing a lot of courses in human values and in mental health, in psychology, and that brought me to the psychology part of my profession. And apart, I started counseling young girls and boys in my college. So talking to them, listening to their concerns, expanded my horizons and helped me understand humans better. And that's when I started respecting diversity a lot, because before that I was the kind of person that we all usually are. We have a set pattern, a set list of factors on which we judge people, on which we make friends. Like, okay, this ticked, so we can be friends. Or else maybe this is different in this particular person, and he does not fit into my list of good people, so I probably won't talk to him, right? That's how we differentiate. And I was that kind of a person. I used to be like that. But the moment I talked to people and I was so touched and so inspired by our diversities, that I started respecting people for what they are. And I started celebrating them, even if they were even 1% not matching to. So yes, that's how I landed into there. Yes, I think this life is amazing, and 24 hours always feel less when it comes to work. And I think that's the way of living life. As long as you are conscious, you're in the moment, you know what you're doing, and you're aware. So as long as you are aware, you should multitask, because that keeps you running. That keeps you in a process. I was knowing today that okay, 5 p.m. I have a show with Mr. Egalitarian. Before that, I have about 6 to 7 hours to figure out my work, and post that I have some other engagements. So that helps me move through the day with motivation. Otherwise, I might lose motivation at some point, that okay, maybe I don't have anything to do, so probably I should lie down and start thinking about negative things in life. Or maybe I should just sit and start crying over things that I don't even care about. So I think this is a great way to keep yourself distracted from all the negativity, and they help you walk through the day very, very positively. That's why I keep myself engaged and I manage it. I think I manage it well. I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right, that's a very beautiful submission. Lavpreet, is a very good one. We all have ways at which we balance life. We all have how we put things together. I will make sure things are working in our own perspective. We all have that. I have my story. Everybody has their story in every geographical area today, in every world. That's a very big one. And again, I want to tell you that Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian is going on with Lavpreet Kaur from India, Punjabi breed to be precise, and she's been wonderfully giving us good submissions about the questions thrown to her on the topic personality development and global relevance. And believe me, she's doing very fine. Now, Lavpreet, before we move on, I would like you to see your friends that have been cheering you up, saying hi to you. So once I post it, you say hi to them. Then I bring them, maybe like three of them now. Okay, I can see Pavan. All right, have you seen it? Are you seeing it?
Amazing. Thank you, Pavan. Pavan is, by the
All
way,
right.
my co CD Bath and the co-founder of CD
Whoa.
Bath. A wonderful friend of
Okay.
mine. He's my childhood friend. So yeah,
All
thank
right,
you.
that's very good. All right, Pavan. Lapreet is saying hi, so I also say hi to you. Thank you for coming to the show. All right, the next person, Tushar
Oh,
Sharma.
oh, these are my constants. Pavan and Tushar are my constants, and they're there in every
Wow.
every every single event to motivate me. He's my junior, and he's a sibling of mine precisely. And I love you, Tushar. Thank you.
Whoa, that's a very big one. All right, Nisha.
Oh, Nishtha, she was my guest on the podcast. Thank you so much, Nishtha, for coming in,
Whoa.
and
Well, that's
thank
a very
you.
big fan. All right, Nisha,
Yeah.
thank you for coming to the show. I really appreciate you also. Rohit.
Rohit. Okay. Hi, Rohit. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for your kind words. Rohit is also a great friend. I think he's from Hyderabad, if I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, please excuse me.
All right, so Rohit, all right, that reminds me of Rohit Mehra in Krishna Krish, which I love Indian film. I see Indian films a lot. So, all
Yeah.
right, so actually Kumar is doing a very great job in India over there, doing working here and there, and Indian films here and there. I've seen Krishna Krish one, two, three. I'm waiting for the four though. All right,
Wow,
so
you're such a big fan of Indian Bollywood, Indian cinema. Amazing.
I love Indian. I can start mentioning their names then. Okay, so let's move on. So all right, Lavpreet. Now, having attended national level conferences and as Deputy Secretary General of Indian United Nations Youth Representative, what do you see in today's education based on youth change in interest globally? Yes, you will see that the interest of youth are starting to deviate from the aspect of education, trying to find what they can do, in terms of skill. And education does not actually mean academics alone, it's everywhere. So, what do you see based on your experience in conferences that you've attended? What do you see in today's education, in youth's life?
Yeah. Well, to answer that question, I would say, in my opinion, education is a vast, vast field. And I've been saying that number of times. I cannot say enough times that education encompasses of a lot of things. And academics and being literate is a small part of being educated, very small part. So it includes everything, right from skills, right from values, how you deal with people around you, how you talk to people around you, how you behave with people around you, and how you look at yourself as a person, how you picture yourself a few years from now, how you take life, how compassionate you are, and a lot of other things, right? What I see in today's education system is that there's a little gap. At least from what I've seen in India, from the amount of conferences attended, and from the amount of people I've met in my life until today, I really think there's a contrast. Actually, there's a gap in education, but the youth knows that there's a gap in education, and that's the good news. There's a gap. It's the bad news. Of course, there's a gap. What we need today is not taught to us. Schools don't teach you how to make money. They don't teach you how to invest money. They don't give you financial literacy. They don't teach you what is personality development. They don't teach you what's the importance of talking to people with confidence. They don't give you confidence in general. Okay. And on the other hand, everybody, the people I've met, they know that there's a gap, and that's a good news in my opinion, that people know that there are things that they need to learn beyond their academic curriculum, and that's the need of the hour precisely. Because when you deal with the world, I'll tell you from my personal experience in my engineering, I think I've learned a lot of things, right? We have done a lot of practicals, we have done a lot of theory. Nobody cares that sine theta by cos theta is tan theta. Nobody cares. Nobody. What people care about is how you deal with people. Right now, if you're talking to me, Are you asking me mathematical questions, or are you asking me to solve long differential equations questions? No, right? Nobody cares. What you are trying to get from me is how I live my life, how I stay motivated, how I motivate others, what's my perspective towards the world. And unfortunately, that's what we don't learn in school and colleges. And I would say, I would say that we really need to work on that. Education has to be more situation oriented, has to be more dynamic. It has to include what's happening in the world instead of reading textbooks that are seniors and super seniors and super seniors once read in the 1980s or 1990s, and we're reading the same textbooks while those microprocessors have no relevance in today's time. Come on. I mean, come on. Whatever field you want to excel in, it's important to learn what's happening currently in that industry. So if somebody comes up to me, and of course, I won't say it's not important to learn how we came here. It's important to learn history as well. But everything should not only be about history, is my my stand here. It's important for me to know how technology evolved. As an engineer, it's important for me to know how we came to AI, where we started, what was the size of RAM, what was the size of the memory, what was the size of a CPU and a computer in 1980s, 1960s, 1970s. But I should also know what the industry needs right now. And that's what when we go to placement drives, when we go for job interviews, we just find ourselves clueless and answerless at times because we don't have knowledge of the current situation. While the current situation is the most important thing to be known, right? So if I know how journalism started in India, what was the first newspaper, how did it proceed, how was it during independence, how did it change after independence? Good, but I don't know what is the situation of media right now. Then is there any point of me becoming a journalist? No, there isn't. So you have to be. I think the common word for this which we use today is to be updated. Regularly. We have to update regularly, and we have to fit in our versions. Should fit into situations right now. So yes, there's a little gap, but I'm very happy about the fact that when I meet young people, young souls, they know there's a gap and they're working towards filling that gap. They are doing courses, they are going all out, taking trainings. They know that skill development is important. They're working for skill development. They want to learn, and this tendency of people when they want to learn and want to keep learning throughout their life and want to be students forever. I think that's the blessing. That's the blessing. And very less people have that attitude, and you should have that attitude. You should always consider yourself a student, because there is, trust me, there is no limitation to how much and how and when you can learn. You can go on learning and improving yourself every day. Also, another thing that I feel is important in today's world, I don't know about other countries, but at least here in India, we have less of the risk appetite. If you understand, Kabir, what I'm trying to say, people, they don't want to experiment a lot, right? They're scared. They get very scared thinking of the fact that they, they, they tend to settle in their lives which they don't like. They tend to settle in the jobs that they don't like just because it is giving them some constant pay, some safety, sort of a safety in their life, and they don't want to get out of it, out of their comfort zone. Even while they hate their jobs, they won't come out of it. So I think the youth, the upcoming generation, has to be more experimental. They have to take up. They have to increase their risk appetite. They have to take up and look beyond the common conventional, career options, and they have to think creatively. Because there are jobs, then this complaint won't come. There are a lot of options, as long as we are ready to explore, and we are ready to see where we fit in, where we belong, because that will give you absolute pleasure when you're working on something that gives you happiness. When I become a journalist, I don't think I'll be thinking that I'm working, because I love doing that. I love my job. I love speaking, talking, bringing out information, researching, and doing all of it, right? So your job becomes your life, it becomes your passion, and your passion becomes your job, and life becomes so easy, right? These are two aspects which I think I will congratulate all the youth on being so aware of the fact that education is not enough. The education that we get in colleges is But I would also encourage them to think of career options beyond the conventional careers that we have.
Wow. I'm so filled inside. I have so many informations in my head. Oh my God. I just love all the submission. They have facts and figures. And what people actually want to hear about this thing is what you have actually given. I love that. Thank you so much for giving such beautiful submission. And I'm really, really super excited that we brought you all the way from India to this show in the studio right here today on Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian Indian. Punjabi should be proud of you. Lavpreet, they should be proud of you. And
Right.
if I have my way, I'm going to speak to the Indian president on invite that yes, they should give you a global scholarship that you tour the world, United States, and everywhere to study more so that you can bring the grace to India. I'm saying it in an open mind, in an open microphone, and my face is being seen that Indian economy, hear my word now, give a very strong support for Lavpreet Kaur in Punjabi, a very strong one, so that she can study more in other countries, United States, name it, to get more awards. I'm saying that today, so that when I come to India tomorrow, not tomorrow, I'm talking about the future. All right, so that's a very beautiful one, Lavpreet. I love the submission. Keep it up. All right, we move. Okay, now let's talk about the fact that you're going to study journalism, the fact that you're mastering journalism at the moment. You know that there's some other men there, all right? There are other men in the same line of profession. Now, don't you feel intimidated that, oh man, how can I stand in front of these people and the likes of that, especially when it's a kind of a tussle situation where you have to, question some high profile people? Don't you feel powerless or intimidated by the presence of men? Don't you feel that?
Well, okay. I have a wonderful answer for this. And to begin with, I would say I absolutely respect, and I always make sure that I mention this every time. Men have a big role to play in the world. Unfortunately, I would say we somehow tend to ignore men. There's always this hype about female child, women doing a lot of things, etc., etc., etc. Of course, they deserve respect, they deserve attention, they deserve, congratulations for what they do. But men, on the other hand, people who are connected to me in my life, my father, my brother, my friends, and I'll give you a fun fact later. I respect all of these people because I've seen them from very near. Them being very giving, them sacrificing their aspirations, their dreams, uh, even little aspirations that they have in their heart for the happiness of their wife, their children, their mother, their parents, for everybody. So, first of all, salute to all men who are such giving people. And sorry for not always, bringing that into a highlight, not always giving you guys congratulations for it, giving you guys the much needed respect and recognition for being such one. That said, in my friend circle, I have had majority men, majority. Why? Because I think I vibe with men really well, because I think men are really faithful friends, because I think the qualities, basic qualities like, jealousy or, bitching or dissing, etc., 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 is very less in men as compared to females. And that's a psychologically proven fact that females tend to be more competitive and being more, I would say, they have those elements in them, and I'm not blaming them for it. I do have a wonderful set of female friends as well, but I've always had amazing male friends who have been motivating me throughout my life, like ever since. And because of that, I have this soft corner and a lot of respect for all the men in the world. No, I personally always feel every Father's Day and every Men's Day, we post statuses saying that thank you for all the men who have done this for us, who've done that for us. But I personally think this is one community which is very underrated, and somehow men are ignored because we keep on stressing on the contributions that others have made in the world and tend to ignore this particular community. So there's a being having a lot of respect for them, it works very well for me because I bond with them really well. As far as journalism as a profession is considered, then to be a journalist, you already have to be very brave, right? You can't be a journalist, at least an honest journalist, without being brave. You have to be brave. Now, even if there's women in front of you, there's a lady in front of you who does not want to submit, who is doing wrong, you have to bring her in highlight. And even if there is men and he's not wrong, he is wrong, he's doing something wrong in society which has to be brought into people's viewpoint, people's consideration, you have to cover him. So while being, I think me as a journalist, when I'm working, I am a journalist, not a girl, not a boy. No, I have what I have in front of me is not a girl, not a boy, not a male, not a female. It's just a person I'm trying to cover, just an incident I'm trying to cover. Because when we start seeing people and incidences, when we start relating them with our personal opinions and with our personal thoughts and with our, that's when our profession, we kind of introduce these small mistakes in our profession. We start making our profession something which is very sensitive, right? It starts affecting our profession, and that is where problems start happening. So you got to see people in front of you as, or the incidents in front of you as incidents. So as a journalist, I'm nobody's friend, I'm nobody's enemy, I'm just a journalist. And that is why having men around me, having women around me is not intimidating for me at all. And even if there are men and I have to deal with them, and if they are hard, I will deal with them because my profession includes this. My profession wants me to be a good public relations person, wants me to handle people really well, wants me to show people the truth. So for that, even if it's a man or a woman, that's the last thing I would think of, and I would just consider myself doing my job, taking the information, verifying it, and bringing it in front of people. That's all. And of course, I think a lot of men inspire me on an everyday basis. So having men around me is a pleasure.
All right, that's a very beautiful one. That's a very beautiful one. We hope all women, all ladies, all young shall grow, and all lady youth in India, especially Punjabi at this point, are really listening to you on a national level, and they believe in what you're saying. As we here in Nigeria gladly believe in you, because after this session, we're going to repost this segment, and everybody in the whole wide world will be seeing the good work that Lavpreet Kaur is doing. And believe me, your family should be proud of you because we are proud of you here in Nigeria. All right. So, yes. Okay. Now, as a public speaker, don't you sometimes feel nervous if you're to deliver a speech in a very large crowd or in a special public hearing like conferences, among others? All right. Don't you feel, somehow, shy sometimes, don't you feel like there is a butterfly in your legs trying to fly you up? All right.
Of course. Oh my God, that's every public speaker ever. I promise you, there is no public speaker in this world who does not feel scared while speaking in public. Trust me. So, having said that, a fun fact here is when I was young, and for the first time, when my dad got me on stage to, take the pledge. So it was Independence Day celebration in his office, and he took me with him. So he's like, Lavpreet, you have to take the pledge, and then you have to recite the national anthem there. I cried on the stage. I freaked out. And I was literally crying. Please take me off this stage and take me away from this place. I don't want to speak, Dad. I don't want to speak. So, yeah, I think everybody's journey begins like that. And even today, after 21, 22 years of being on stage, my legs start trembling when I get on the stage. I do feel scared. But it was then, especially when you don't know the crowd in front of you, you definitely will feel scared. That is human tendency. But I would say my way of dealing with it is to look into everybody's eyes and to immediately connect people with you. So if you were sitting right in front of me, I would probably talk to you. I would like to make an eye contact and make myself comfortable of your presence and you comfortable of my presence. So it's a give and take, right? Where the speaker and the listeners are in a give and take, everything goes smoothly. When it's just give, after one point they won't want to take it, and then you can't give. And then that's called overflowing, right? And they won't respect your presence on stage. To make your mark, to make yourself respected on stage, the key is to respect them and to make them feel identified, to make them feel recognized that yes, I'm looking at you and I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you, right? So I think that's very important, and that as a speaker is my way, my way of feeling comfortable on stage. I just tend to create a community when I'm on the stage, even if that's for 4 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes or 1 hour, whatever.
All right, that's a beautiful one. Yes, creating a community when you're actually on the stage, because that will make you at least see the people as part of you. So
Yeah.
it will make everything flow and everything will go. And that's very beautiful. That's very beautiful. Oh my God, I'm so much happy right now. I'm so much happy that we actually brought you to the program Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian. All right, now before we move on, we are with Lavpreet Kaur from Punjab, India, and the people of India have been commenting. I love them. I give it to you, 100% people from India. Now there is this person, Akash. Akash is saying hi.
Akash, oh, I'll tell you the fun story behind this. Akash and I are childhood friends from class 3, 4, 5 something. And yesterday, we just got in touch yesterday after about 7 to 8 years. And apparently, I did not remember, but we used to be the fighter friends in school, and then we became the best of friends. I am so glad, and he's not a social media person. Despite that, he is here right now. Thank you, Akash. Absolutely, absolutely love you for that. Thank you so much.
Okay, Akash, I'm also saying hi and thank you so much for coming to the program Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian to support your friend. And believe me, we're moving on. All right, you're gonna help me in recognizing this name because I do not know how to provide to actually say.
Yeah, this in Punjabi is Gaganpreet Singh Patti, which is again a college friend of mine. Oh my God, thank you so much. Gagan was calling me up and I just cut his call while I was in the session. Sorry, Gagan, for that. And thank you so much for joining in.
All right, so Tushar Sharma.
My God, this is the same guy I told you, my sibling. Thank you so much, Tushar.
All right, all right, all right. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to actually make our guest today smile, and we really, really appreciate you. We really appreciate you, Punjabi. Really appreciate you, India, and we appreciate our guests from India saying many things all across from the start, making us feel very informative and giving us the best that we could always have that is globally taken. Thank you so much, Lavpreet. We are so much happy that you're here today. Now, okay, now looking at India as a whole now, all right? Now, do you think the youths there in India, especially in your location, Punjabi, all right, do you think they are really ready to take on a global challenge while solving problems in relation to the sustainable development goals? Do you think they are really ready with what you're seeing and as
Yeah.
an emerging? You understand now?
Sure.
So, as an journalist, do you see that happening?
Well, this is a very relevant question, Kabir, and I'll tell you. By the way, Kabir, I'm living in Punjab. Punjabi is my language, the language that we use, speak, communicate, and Punjab is the name of the state, right?
Right.
And the very recent experience that makes me say yes, the youth of Punjab and North India and the entire country in general, capable of taking up, and making sustainable development goals possible is the recent farmers' protest. I'm very sure you must have heard of it. The farmers' protest is one of the biggest protests happening in India at this moment against the farm laws which have been proposed by the government of India, and the young people of Punjab are supporting our elders, our farmers, our community to get that corrected and to make everything legitimate. So I feel when what empowers you, in my opinion, education empowers you. When you are able to see something and then decide if it's right or wrong, at that very moment, you are capable of bringing any, when this black cloth of, I would say, what do you call it? Maybe unawareness is removed away from your eyes, and you're able to identify what is wrong and what is right, and you're able to claim your right while fulfilling your duty. That's when, in a democratic nation at least, we call that the youth is capable of making anything possible, of making the world a better place to live. And that is what Punjabi youth at this moment is doing, right? So the farm laws were brought into the picture, and it wasn't satisfactory. The laws were against the sentiments of Punjabi farmers. It was against it was almost like snatching away their livelihood in just 1 minute by proposing those laws and by making them, first of all, by proposing those bills while not taking advice from the farmers for whom the bill was made, and then again immediately putting them up as laws so that farmers cannot even do anything for themselves. It's like bringing them from their homes to the road. And I'm proud of the youth, of the young individuals of Punjab and Haryana and the entire country who are supporting this movement, who are going there. They are giving educative, informative, legitimate arguments against the government. They're trying to claim their rights while fulfilling their duties. And I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of those young individuals from India who fly abroad and make our country proud in other countries by, getting best posts, by doing good work, by getting into social service. I'm proud of those young people in India itself who are aware of their talents, their skills, and they are ready to invest their talents and skills in the right in the right careers. They're ready to take up right career paths. They are ready to take multiple careers and do them with utmost beauty. I have had some guests of my podcast who have like multiple professions. Kabir, multiple professions. They are models, they are project managers, they are lawyers, all at once. Can you believe that? So I'm proud of these young individuals who have come out of their small homes, who have come out of small towns, and they have made such big names for themselves globally. So yes, in my opinion, when my fellow people are able to understand that our education is incomplete without skills, without value, that is when I can absolutely say that these people are fit for making SDGs possible in the coming few years. Although it might seem impractical at this moment because of the pandemic, because of so many challenges that are happening around the world, but I think at least striving for change and moving on that path much better than just sitting there and doing nothing, right? So I'm very, very sure that youth listening to me right now and the youth that I'm talking about, the youth I'm very proud of, they are going to make our country and the world very proud in the near future. And I'm proud that they know how to stand against the wrong. They know how to stand with the right. They know how to identify right and wrong. In my opinion, that's the victory. That's the victory for it.
All right, you have a question from Pavan, and I'm going to put it right on the screen. Now you see it, you answer that question, and it's a very beautiful question. I've been reading it while you speak and while I listen to you. So I'm going to post it right now. So that's the question. He said, hey, Mr. Egalitarian, here is a question from my end. As part of the audience, hope you ask that. I'm already asking. In Lavpreet's view, what's the formula for global integration in the 21st century? And how does one shed their ideology biases to achieve that? So, your response to that?
Well, Pawan, thank you for the question. In my opinion, as I told you, the way I started, again, I'll go back to that. We all have this checklist in our head, okay? We have certain things in our mind which we have developed from our values, from our family, from the kind of environment we are living in, and on the basis of that, we start deciding what is right and what is wrong, right? So something which is right for me, it's possible that it's wrong for you, right? Right? On the same basis, something that's right for you could be wrong for me. So when we start judging people, talking to people, identifying people on the basis of this checklist that we have in our head, this right and wrong, the concept of right and wrong, that's where we get stuck. In my opinion, stop it. Stop looking at people with the lenses of bias. Stop looking at them with what you expect them to be. Come on. Because if we were all same, then world would have become so boring, isn't it? You are saying, I am saying, we have same interest, we have the same capability. Why would you even interview me if we had the same capability? Why would I come to your show? Why would so many people listen to you? That's because we all have different roles to play in different situations in life. And when we start looking at people, or suppose I meet a new person, if I start meeting this person, talking to this person, and look at him and judge him, I should not say judge him, but I should say I could, understand him by his competence and not by his actions or reactions. That is where I can create a more, I would say, socially positive society, right? So if I'm looking at you, you are literally screaming at me at this moment, right? If I say he's screaming at me, I'm going to scream louder. No, that makes no sense, right? If I say he's screaming at me, let me look at what has hurt him. Maybe there's something I said that probably hurt him, right? And I can respect that diversity because he's not supposed to be like me. It's okay. He's different. Okay. If I understand you like that, I'll probably come up and console you. I'll probably try to talk to you softly. I'll probably try to shake hands with you. And on that particular note, we will accept each other's diversities, isn't it? So why can't you do that before creating all the mess? You can do it always, right? Whenever you meet somebody, meet them with a smile. Let them shape their character and their image in your eyes themselves. Don't make an effort to judge them. And even if you want to judge them in certain situations, do that by understanding their competence and not their actions or reactions. So that is something very important. While the world as a whole, we all are unique people. We all have different perspectives about every situation. And I think we should all be respecting each other's perspective, because when we try to superimpose our perspective on somebody else, that's where the crack starts appearing, right? We should be more welcoming and more respectful towards everybody's opinion and understanding. And if you can add to someone's knowledge, go ahead and do that without making them feel dumb or like idiot. Stop making them feel that you don't know anything. Maybe just do it. You know the importance of being very very nice and creative with your criticism. You have to do positive and constructive. Probably this is a formula I read on Instagram somewhere. You can just go on and say, oh, Kabir, you have a wonderful voice. I think you're a great host. You could have, maybe you could have asked me 2 or 3 questions, about, let's say, my skill set. And otherwise, the show was amazing. I absolutely enjoyed it. So you won't feel attacked from me. But at the same time, you will consider my advice, right? You will consider and you'll probably work on it. So my task of impacting you positively is done, and at the same time I didn't attack you. I didn't make you feel that, oh my god, this person is rubbish, I should not talk to this person again, right? So that's how I think we really need to conquer the art of positive criticism, conquer the art of understanding people from their competence, and conquer the art of respecting diversity in general. We ought to be different and we have to respect each other.
That's a very beautiful one. I love that a lot. Thank you so much for giving such a didactic submission. Now, I think Pavan is filled to the brim at this point in time. Now, if you have much question, bring it on, because Lavpreet is here to answer all your questions. I believe, I have confidence 101% in her that she's going to get the answer for you no matter what. Even in the 7th earth, she's going to get it for you. Now, there's another question coming up from Tushar Sharma. Tushar is saying, hey, Mr. Egalitarian, I also have a question. As a responsible member in the community, what should one focus on? Personal growth or community growth? Wow, Sharma, I give you 100. That's a very beautiful question. That's a very beautiful one. Okay, it's up to you.
Okay. So, let me consider give you a simple example, right? I consider myself a part of this community. So when I grow, my community grows. When the community grows, I grow. It's not a different concept. Personal growth and community growth are not different as long as you consider yourself the part of the community. You have to be a little selfish at times and work on your goals, because when you think of it a little more, like when you think of it on a bigger level, your growth ultimately is your community's growth, isn't it? Because when you are growing, when I am trying to become a very capable, a very honest, and a very ethical journalist. It's I am working on my skills every single day for it. At the end of the day, when I become this journalist and I enter the media industry, am I not contributing to the community? I am, right? I will be contributing to the community by transforming the media, and that's what India needs the most today. The entire mess in India is about journalism. Because of fake media houses, because of over exaggerated news, there is chaos in the whole world because of the wrong information that's been spread. Because half information is destructive, and at the same time, my dear friends, wrong information is also destructive. So that is the whole chaos in the world today. In this world that is, we are calling ourselves the global village. We are digitized. So in this world, the entire chaos that's created is not because of any other thing but information, right or wrong. Information creates an impact, right? So my personal goal is aligning with the society's goal, with the community growth, isn't it? So when, and if you want to look at it at a very small level, suppose you're working in a team and the team is really toxic, the environment is toxic, you are not getting time to work on yourself, cut it. Any relationship or any community or any workspace that does not allow you to grow as a person after at least several months of putting in effort, and does not allow you to look beyond where you were stuck, you have to leave it and look for some other opportunity. That's very important, because once you start playing around with your mental health, this is the entire, I'll tell you, the secret behind your success is all here. You mess this and you are gone, right? So you can't afford to take that big risk, because I know that my personal goal of becoming an ethical journalist is something in a way in which I'll also be contributing to a better society. But now I got stuck in a project where I'm not growing as a journalist, I'm not growing as a person, I'm not growing as anything, and I'm just falling down every day. My confidence is falling down every day. My community is not giving me the opportunity to work on myself. Rather, is a toxic community that pulls me down all the time. Your personal goals, community goals, everything vanishes. Your life becomes a small box, a dark box in general. You have to avoid those situations, guys. Okay, and when it comes on of course, with a bigger perspective, of course, your personal goals should align with your community goals. And when you are growing personally, you are, in general, contributing to the community. Yeah.
All right, that's a very good, great answer. Sharma Tushar, hope you've had the milk in your tea right now, because Lavpreet has done a lot of job on that, and that's a very beautiful one. In fact, I'm so much happy for one fact. If you are in this world and you are not relevant, and you see somebody that is globally relevant, that is represented, the only thing you have to do at that point in time is to actually go with that person and learn facts. How did you do it? How did you go about it? How did you make this formation? And the person actually gets the knowledge to you. And the problem we're having today is the youth of now don't want to learn anymore, because they are very lazy. And that is why we are calling on every youth all around the world to stand up, to stand tall to what they believe is right. Do it and get something better from it. Punjab, thank you so much for giving birth to Lavpreet Kaur. All right, it's for that. Okay. now let's move on. Now, apart from, let's say in your terms now, with what you've been saying so far, so good. In your terms now, what do you understand by global relevance and personality development in your own terms?
Well, one thing that I always say, to people when they meet me and they ask me is, you don't really have to work on the person a lot. You have to work on the personality. So when people come up to me saying that, hey, Lavpreet, I think I'm pretty fat, I think I'm pretty tall, I'm very thin, I'm very skinny. Oh, Lavpreet, you are very skinny. Don't you eat something, etc., etc. That's when I ask them that, why does that even matter? As long as you know that you're taking good care of your health, both physical and mental health, As long as you know that you're exercising, you're eating good balanced diet, you know that you are staying away from all the toxicity of the world and meditating every day, enough. After that, body shaming and being so conscious about your body should be the last thing that you should be doing with anybody or with yourself. What you should rather be doing is working on your personality, because when you have to leave a mark somewhere, there's hardly somebody who remembers your exact figure or your face or your dimension. There's everybody remembers what message you gave out, how you communicated, how was your behavior with those people, right? How compassionate were you? Were you considerate enough, right? Of all the people, all the diversity of the world. So I think working on your personality, uh, in general, like in like very precise, in my opinion, means working on yourself to leave a mark wherever you go, a positive, right? Working on yourself enough to be able to inspire people, working on yourself enough to be walking with pride, with confidence, while knowing that yes, I am an example for a few people and I just cannot fall down, right? And even if I fall down, I have to get up because those people are following me, right? There are certain people who look up to me. So when you take that responsibility on your shoulders and you walk with pride, right, without caring of what size you are, how fat or how thin you are, how short or how tall you are, but just thinking about one thing, that I have to make an impact. My education, my every action, my thought, with those things, I should be able to make an impact. It's not just collecting degrees and keeping them aside, talking to people just like that, not being able to create an impact for them, right? So doing things just like that, because I did it. No, everything you do should be able to contribute to that impact you want to make on the society. It's very important today to create an impact, and everything you do should be able to do that. Now, one more thing over here. Not everybody would be happy with the impact, but as long as you know what you acquired, you are putting that into a cycle. You're sharing that. What I acquired from my life, 20 years of my life, the experiences, the knowledge, all the things, I did mistakes, I learned from those mistakes. Now, when I'm passing it forward, whatever I acquired, I'm giving it to people out and creating a circle where we are sharing, learning, and sharing, learning, and sharing, learning. It itself grooms your personality. Very important. Keeping your knowledge and your experiences with yourself probably might not help anybody, right? So maybe you share it and somebody else avoids doing the same mistake, saves so much time, and does the same thing a little faster than you. When you create this cycle, and this is a sustainable cycle, that's when you can call that, yeah, I've been able to create an impact. I have developed my personality over time. Okay? So, yes, important to look good, to look presentable, but personality development is not just that. It's not just what you wear and where you wear. No. The more important part is how you present yourself. How much are you able to present yourself the way you think you are? If I know that I'm a confident person, if I know that I'm a journalist, how much am I able to present it in words, action? If I think I'm a humanitarian, if I think I'm a social servant, how much am I able to present it in action? And that's how you call that your personality is developing, right? And the other question that you asked was, I believe, global relevance. Well, thanks to social media, today we are able to communicate with people we thought we'll never meet. I'll tell you, with my personal experience, it was just yesterday when I got to connect with my childhood friends again. It was my dad's job, because of which I was traveling in different states of India, and I never stayed in one place, right? Because of which I have a very scattered friend circle. And back in the day when I was in class 3 or 4, we did not have phones. So I personally never thought I'll be able to connect with those friends again. But after 7 or 8 years now, when I get connect back with them through Facebook, I would say social media makes sense for me, right? But there are two different ways you pursue it. You can't go out and meet every person on the globe. Understand that. You can't go out and meet every person in person. Okay, I absolutely admire personal communication and sitting with somebody in a coffee shop and having like a one-on-one interaction. Who does not love that? I love that. I absolutely love that. But I know for a fact that I cannot connect with every person on the globe through, by visiting them. So what I can do rather is to create a community on social media through which I can communicate my thoughts, my ideas with them. I can share my resources with them. I can learn stuff from them. I can create a give and take community on the virtual world as well. A lot of things are attached with social media. I'll take it. I'll say yes, it's difficult. But as long as you know how to use social media platforms in your favor, at least in a way that you create a strong global community, in a way that you make your mark at a global level. It's not easy, guys. For a person living in one small province, in a particular colony, in a particular house, it's impossible for you to create an impact in the world by not being on social media or by not being connected to people. Trust me on that. You just cannot stay at your house and create an impact. To create an impact, you have to communicate with people. Communication is essential, right? Now, that does not mean that you can't become successful without social media. But when it comes to global relevance, it's important for you to know what's happening around the globe also, right? It's not just giving, it's taking also. If I don't know what's the current trend, what's happening around the globe, what is this one issue that connects several continents together? What is this one job out which inspires so many youth of so many different continents? What is this one topic that the youth wants to learn, the entire youth of the world wants to learn? Unless I welcome that diversity, unless I want to learn those things, unless I'm aware of those things, and then I take action towards those things, it's hard to create global relevance. And when we started with our podcast, Easy Baat, I think that was our aim. Our aim was to understand different perspectives, understand what people have to give, right? What they know about their countries, what we know about our country, and what we can do to grow both of these countries together. So that was the idea. So that brings into picture global relevance, because I have to know what's happening in Nigeria to help my Nigerian friends develop, right? I have to know. And I can't visit Nigeria every time. Maybe I can't. But right now, I never visited Nigeria, and I have multiple friends from Nigeria who help me understand the situation of women there, the situation of employment there, and help me strike a contrast between my country and their country. And that's how I also started respecting diversity, isn't it? So, in my opinion, global relevance is when you know what's happening in the globe, where is it happening, why does that connect sentiments of so many people, and how can I probably create an impact and positively contribute to that cause, whichever is common to the globe, is common to the global youth. Yeah, that's how we go about it. And that, of course,
That's a
having
very,
a global relevance also helps you develop your personality. It's all correlated.
yeah, that's very beautiful. Know why it is happening, know where it is happening, know what is happening, and know how it is happening. These are just the things that, yes, Lavpreet has put on for us to actually understand that if you have to be globally relevant, you are not supposed to sit in your home just like a person that has been told by a priest, you're going to be rich. Because you hear that, you sit at home waiting for that richness to come. You're going to be the poorest person in the world, believe me. So go out there, search for what's happening, make use of social media. It has actually helped a lot of people. But then this question comes. Social media is great and has contributed to people's lives and still contributing, just as you said right now. Now, no doubt about that. Lafrit, what is your rating in terms of positive or negative impact of social media on people today?
Well, that's a good question. And the opening of this question is, I was not on social media ever, on any social media 9 months ago. So before the lockdown started, I was having absolutely zero presence on any of the social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, whatever. I used WhatsApp because that was a necessity, because we had to share multimedia messages when we were in college. And that was very important. And I had very limited friend circle, just the college buddies and just my classmates and my family. I was that kind of a person. And 9 months later, I am this person talking to you right now, representing my country on a platform which is a global platform, right? Talking to somebody from Nigeria and trying to create a global impact, trying to strike, a balance between what youth can do to make it a better place. That is how social media can be used for good. Okay? So everything I have on my profile today, all the impact driven work that I do, all the community building work, the work that I do, thanks to social media for that. And thanks to the most important element, thanks to me understanding how I want to social media, right? So while a lot of, just like I told you, a lot of thought processes are attached, a lot of judgments are attached to social media. I take it because, like I told you, a lot of chaos is created in the world, and the sole reason for that is information. Now, social media provides you all the rights and privileges to throw out whatever information you want to throw. And I've personally been seeing, chaos happening in the world because of this random information throw that's happening on social media. So the problem is not with social media and the platform. The problem is with the user. When you log in to social media, it's in your hands how you want to inspire your community, how you want to impact, I would say, your community, what you want to share with people, and what you want to see from people, right? It's in your hands. Facebook is not self-developing things to show you. Trust me. It's the profiles that share different things and that create different things. So now tell me, is social media bad, or is the user not knowing how to use it? So what makes social media is like a car. It's standing in your parking. It's parked. It's parked. You put the key. You log into Facebook. Now try to understand the analogy. Here's the car. Here's the Facebook. Okay. You open the Facebook app. You start your car. You log in. You move. You turn the key. Okay. And then you start posting random series of things on Facebook, and you start driving while you're already high on last night's alcohol. Same consequences. Both of them will land into drama and destruction, right? But on the other hand, I log into my Facebook and I know I'm sober, I'm conscious, I know where I want to go. I want to go to the supermarket to get 2 kgs of milk. I start my car, I open my Facebook, I log in. I start my car and go to the supermarket, park it there. I go to the Facebook, check out stuff there, share what I think, what I have checked and it's credible. I share that information. I buy the milk. I share the information. I sit in the car back. I close my Facebook. The car comes back to the garage. The Facebook profile is logged now, and you have logged out from your app and you sit at your home. Same consequence. You have done your job correctly and you have created a positive impact. You have 2 kgs of milk to manage your domestic stuff, and at the same time, you forwarded the right information to the people, which will not cause a drama or destruction. Kudos. That's how it works, right? So it's not automatic. It's not generating stuff by its own. You are putting stuff there, and it's not you, it's not me, it's so many of us doing that over there. And again, there would be difference in opinion, but I don't think Facebook or Instagram is a platform to probably share anything that's disrespectful towards the other community. You have all right to share information, but there is no need of sharing opinions. And even if you are sharing opinions, we need to be more accepting. Again, all of it joins back and connects to each other. If we have no patience, if we don't respect others' opinions, then of course we'll think Facebook and social media is getting high on us. On top of that, I think it's very important to learn how you want to communicate with people, to what extent you want to communicate with people, and make your point very clear. In a workshop that recently happened, I addressed the audience about how to use LinkedIn for their personal benefit. I see random people on LinkedIn sending you proposals on the messages. Do you understand why LinkedIn is made? LinkedIn is for professional circle building, right? It's for you to get jobs, to connect with job providers, to connect with professionals and stars of the corporate world, so that you learn values and work ethics from them. It's not for you to create a family there. Come on. So when you know, you're aware why is the platform created, how you want to communicate, and what you want to communicate, you know your purpose, is when I think you can use your social media platform to do wonders. And otherwise, of course, you will just create a mess and you will be a part of that mess. So yes, the decision is in our hands, and I think the key is in our hands. We should know before sitting on in the car where we want to go and why we want to go. So you have to have a direction necessarily, and you should know how you want to communicate with the masses, knowing the fact that there is diversity and not everyone will agree with you. So you have to learn the art of putting forth your ideas while respecting all the other opinions and while respecting the diversity that's there around.
Thank you so much. That's a very beautiful one. Oh my God. I wish to. I want to have Evan. I want to squeeze you, get all the juicy part of you today because I know that after this program, you have a lot of things to do. So we have just few questions left, and then I'll be very much happy if we can go through everything today. All right. Now, do you think that the United Nations global goals, the Sustainable Development Goals 17 from 1 to 17, now, do you think the goals have what it takes to redeem the world by
Hmm.
2030? All right. According to happenings around the world today, COVID-19 and all that, despite the fact that it has been set on 2030
Yeah,
and some things are happening, such as the pandemic and all that, do you think it can happen fast for that time being?
yeah. Well, I'll again connect it all to the personal life. Okay, okay. So how you set goals for yourself, 5-year plans, 10-year plans, where I see myself in the next 2 days, what I want to complete in the next 2 days, 48 hours, to where I see myself after 10 years from now, are like two things that help us figure out our roadmap to success, right? Similarly, the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 goals, when they were being decided, I think they took into consideration everything, right from health, education, awareness, to the world global peace, to global sustainability, etc., etc., right? There were all the things that were considered in it in that point in time, thinking what would be important and what would be prioritized and what we will need to reach where we want to reach by 2030, right? So I would say in the process of life, in the process of growth, we always evolve, right? Things keep evolving and situations keep changing. So it's highly likely that what I thought for myself a few years ago, that I want to be in certain situation after 10 years, it's possible that something turned out in my life and something just happened, things just went wrong, and I it took me a little longer to reach there, or maybe I had to recenter everything, reprioritize the things, and maybe bring on some other things to the priority, remove some things from the checklist, and so on. So in that situation, it might take me a little longer to reach my goal, or it's possible that I might change my goal while reaching there. So similarly, the SDGs, when they were created, I'm very sure that they were the most likely, the most achievable goals for 2030. But given that COVID came in, and with COVID, economic recession is coming up, and there is health issues in people, there is mental health issues in people, the mental health of people is going down day by day, and a lot of things are happening. So because of that, it's highly likely that we might not reach those goals by 2030, but striving to reach there and keeping in the process, keeping with the pace, will really help us achieve those goals as soon as possible. And I think the priority right now, even in those 17 goals, would be health, wellness, sustainable ways of creating things, sustainability in terms of environment protection and everything. Because we know for a fact that all of this that's happening, the mess that's happening, is because we gave upon sustainable lifestyles at one point in time. And that's why we have reached here in this really unprecedented, unexpected situation in life, right? I'm very sure we'll be able to achieve all those 17 goals, and those 17 goals are definitely very important for the overall success of the world. But it might take a little time, and we might have to recenter and reprioritize on things. Well, I think, oh, Kabir, I think I've lost you.
Okay, welcome back. We're sorry for that. We had to face the network. All right. We're sorry about the network. We are very, very sorry about that. We couldn't get it done on time. So, Lavpreet, can you hear me right now?
Yes, I can hear you. I was speaking, speaking,
Okay.
and speaking when you went. I think people already know my answer.
Okay. All right. All right. So, we actually have a very huge wind around, so it's shaking the network
Oh, I
somehow.
understand.
So, yeah. So, you were somewhere before we left, so you should pick up from there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was just saying the Sustainable Development Goals, the 17 goals that have been set. I was giving you the example of our life, right? We sometimes we plan out, okay, what I'll be doing in the next 2 days, and then we plan out where do I see myself after 10 years from now. Sometimes things just happen in your life, there are some things unexpected. You might lose somebody you love, and there could be challenges that come in the way, and somehow you might have to reprioritize your goals. Probably might have to reset your goals again, and it might take a little longer also sometimes to reach those goals if something has occurred in your life, something, a huge loss, or maybe anything. So similarly, when these goals were set, I'm pretty sure I've read all the 17 goals, and all these goals incorporate every essential aspect of life, right? From health, education, environment, to global peace and sustainability, to economic growth and everything, right? So when they were set, I'm pretty sure this was set considering everything will be all right. Just like we set our 10-year plans, right? Where I want to see after 10 years. And similarly, when these were set by 2030, these might have looked achievable. But now that COVID happened, and along with that, issues like economic recession, issues like the worsening mental health of people, issues like question mark on the healthcare system of our country and of the world, a lot of things, right? The credibility of healthcare, the credibility of automation, a lot of things have happened. So I'm sure these goals are enough and are good enough to bring about an overall change and development in our society. But it's highly possible that it might not happen by 2030. It might take a little longer. There could be more challenges that can happen between 2020 and 2030. But our dedication and our efforts to strive to get those goals done by 2030, being on that track, I think is the best thing that these goals give you. When you have a goal in your head that yes, 10 years from now I see myself here, that helps you to strive every day, right? That helps you move ahead, that gives you a push. So every morning when I wake up, I know I have to get this done in the next 24 hours. That will push me towards my goal and keep me motivated. Similarly, when we know that these are our goals for 2030, they'll keep us motivated, they'll help us come out of every challenge that we are going through. But if we don't have to go hard on ourselves, because it's possible that we might at some point feel that we have to reprioritize, we have to reset our goals, and it might take us a little longer to reach there. So it's completely fine, right? Because for now, I think wellness, health, mental health, sustainability, sustainable living should be the priority of people. So these are some of the sustainable development goals, but these should be the priority rather than technological development or maybe economic development. These should be on the forefront. So yes, similarly, a lot of things happen, and we might have to reschedule, reset our goals again and again. We might also take a little longer to reach there, but we'll reach there, and we should always be in the process of trying to accomplish those goals.
For one, that's a very beautiful one. I love that. All right, so we should concentrate on economic development. All right, we should concentrate on things that are relevant rather than looking for things that are irrelevant at the moment regarding
Yes.
sustainable development. That is well taken. All right, we are very sorry for the break in transmission because we were trying to fix a kind of network due to an unknown breeze and wind that came alongside. So we're very
See,
sorry for that.
so you
And we're
see,
still on the show.
our
Expose it.
our sustainable development goal of delivering the content to people and this episode to people without distractions got disrupted because of a natural calamity, because of a natural cause. So, if such small goals can be affected by things happening around us, why can't the sustainable development goals be affected? So, this is
Oh
how
my
you
God, that's a
strike
very beautiful one. That's a very beautiful one. Thank you so much for that. I must tell you, Lavpreet is endowed with so much knowledge. I give it to you 100%. I love that. All right. Okay, now let's talk about few questions now. Some youth are outside there confused about what to do, even if they have qualifications. They don't have what to. They don't understand themselves over there. Even in India as a whole, Punjab, and other part of the world. Now, what's the assurance of employment after graduation from school? Let's take India for example. What's the assurance of employment? People have caused their own death today because they do not actually have job opportunities after a huge result from school. And remember, not everybody will be entrepreneurs. All right. So,
yeah,
what do you have for them?
yeah. Well, I have a wonderful answer for this, and I've been, advocating this everywhere I go. But before that, let me tell you the assurance that we have here. There is no assurance, Kabir. There is no assurance. I am an engineering graduate. I was lucky enough to ace a few placements when I was given the opportunity to, although I decided to not take them up and to study further. But I did get a lot of opportunities. I did ace a few placement drives as well. But what is the assumption around in the world? They say this, it's actually something funny, and people say this, that engineers of India, they are probably putting up stalls of, they're putting street food stalls these days. They have to do that. They have to get into clerical jobs, the jobs that don't justify their education qualification. They have to do odd jobs also at times, because apparently the degree that they did, the professional degree, they could not land into jobs in that particular industry, which is sad. And this is common for all the people, whether it's aviation pilots or pilots who invest so much in becoming a pilot and end up not getting a job in aviation, or even if it's engineers, if it's doctors, if it's lawyers and whatnot, right? There is no assurance, unfortunately. Why is there no assurance? Because unfortunately, our education is not providing us what we need on field to a job. As an engineer, I'm given a lot of theoretical knowledge. I'm reading tons and tons of books and references. I know the concept, I know the history, but I don't know what's happening in the industry right now. I don't know how to do that, right? I don't know about the current microprocessor, the current microcontroller. I don't know about what should I do if I'm placed in a company as a software engineer. I don't know the programming languages. Who is responsible to teach me that? Well, of course, we would say our college is responsible, the staff is responsible, our teachers are responsible. But more than that, you should be responsible, because it's your future. Now, I just cannot sit here and blame somebody for not teaching me something that would help me land into a job. Now, if I don't have that support, I have to create that support for myself. And fortunately enough, there's always a good news with the bad news, right? The good news is that we have a lot of platforms today. We are lucky enough to have a lot of free platforms providing you courses, providing you skill development training. Apart from that, we have a lot of individuals today who are sharing their knowledge with others. They are doing the great work of sharing their expertise and knowledge with others. Okay? And these are helping people to ace jobs, their dream jobs, their dream career, right? Unfortunately, the gap comes because our education is incomplete. We are not being given skill development trainings in our schools or colleges, right? And that's sad, because at the end of the day, when you are on the field working as a professional, there is hardly any theoretical knowledge you need. You need more knowledge about how to deal with this project in my hand. And that involves everything right from soft skills to hard skills to technical skills, right? What to do now? Now we know this situation. There are some people who are doing these courses, who are doing trainings, who are making an effort, an extra effort, and landing into good jobs. Now, what about those who are not able to make an effort? it is precisely because you're not meant for this field. Trust, I'm not demotivating you right now, but I think most of the children and youth, we follow each other a lot. We see this particular person took up engineering and this person got this job, he's getting this much as a pay, and I think I should do that. Now that's not how you decide your career, right? You decide your career. I personally believe you should always try to pursue your passion as your career, as long as your passion is practical enough. Now, caution, the word of caution is your passion should be practical enough. I just cannot say that I'll become a millionaire out of nowhere sitting at home suddenly because I'll win a lottery. Now, that's 50-50 probability. That's not even 50%. In fact, that's not even 1 by 2 of the probability, to be honest, right? My passion has to be something achievable. I also can't say that, within the next 4 years, I'll probably become the best businesswoman of the world. I can't. I mean, you have to put in a lot of effort for that. Even if you are an entrepreneur, from an entrepreneur to a successful businessman to making a model that generates revenue, actual revenue, and that's sustainable, that comes in circular business economy, takes so much time and effort, guys. Entrepreneurship is not simple if you think it's simple. No, takes in a lot of effort, and you need a team for it. So, what to do? Probably we need to sit back and analyze our skills, analyze our interests, and see what we actually want. My little brother he's very fond of cooking, right? He's very fond of making new dishes. He's very fond of doing everything related to food, right? So he thinks that he can become a good chef, probably in a five-star restaurant. Well, I've never seen somebody having that kind of a aim, at least in my near circle. And I'm so proud of him that he thinks in a different way. Thank you for not thinking in the same damn manner, because there are so many people competing for very little seats, very little jobs. Okay, the government jobs. Okay, there are like very little jobs for which the entire world is literally competing. Your chances of success are less there. I don't say there are no chances. People who study, who put a lot of effort, who go all out to prepare, they do have chances. But you don't have to follow people, guys, because when you are not passionate enough for something that you're doing, it's very hard. You feel every minute of effort that you put in. While when you are trying to do something that you absolutely love and enjoy, you don't even know where the time goes. So maybe we need to think of options, career options beyond the conventional career options. Now, what are the conventional career options? Doctor, management, engineering, and probably one of the most common ones today in this world is a CA, at least in India, is a chartered accountant or something like that, right? Why don't we look beyond it? There is possibly a profession in instrumentation. There's a profession called singing. There's a profession in singing. There are 100 different types of singing that you do. In cooking, there are 100 different kinds of chefs required in 100 different kinds of hotels. In clothing, there are 100 different types of clothing that people buy and wear. There are 100 different techniques of preparing those clothes. Why don't we look beyond that? It's possible that, literal fashion and how to design my clothes, how to get ready, that really drives me crazy. I feel so good to dress up. Why don't I think of going into fashion design? Why don't I think about maybe a course in creating unique dresses? Why don't I think of a startup to provide people the best quality and designer clothes in a reasonable price, right? If getting ready inspires me, it makes me happy. Why don't I think of going into the cosmetic industry, probably going into the grooming industry, going to the hospitality industry? Why not? So I think we have to look beyond the small range of options we are provided and stop taking consent for your life from people. Like somebody giving you random advice, you should do this because we think you'll be able to do this. Consider it. But if that does not drive you, don't take it as a pressure on yourself. And stop looking at people to follow them. Look at them, how they are excelling, and what is the reason that they are excelling. Everybody who's excelling in their fields is because they love their field. They are putting in extra efforts to shine in that field. And they are doing that because they are passionate about it. So as long as you're not passionate about it, you don't really want to do it, you won't be able to do justice to that profession, trust me. And if you start looking beyond these conventional job options that we have in every country, I think there'll be 3 to 4 jobs that are a go-to for everybody. I'm very sure. So there are 2, 3 common professions that everybody wants to do. Everybody wants to pursue that kind of academics only. But there are options beyond it. Fortunately enough, today we have trainings and courses and academic qualifications and whatnot for every single thing. Every small skill ends up into a lot of different high paying professions. Trust me on that. You just have to give in a thought, research in a better way, analyze your own self, and understand your skills, your interests, and then align all of those into a career that does good to you, does good to the society, and ultimately makes you happy and makes you not jobless.
Beautiful one. Now, today, everybody wants to get rich. The get rich syndrome is happening everywhere, especially the youth. Now, Lavpreet, what do you think is wrong with the youth of now in terms of getting rich quick syndrome?
Okay. Well, getting rich is something that we all aspire to. Of course, even I would want that. Okay, after some point in time, when I work hard, when I put in enough effort into my career, when I put enough effort to doing justice to my profession, I should be able to earn. Right? Why is becoming rich? Why are we becoming blinded by this aspiration that we have? Is because we think money is everything. Now, let me tell you one thing. I'll be a fool if I say money is nothing. I'll be a fool because it is important. It is very important for you. Why did I say that you have ample professions, high paying professions for every skill? I mentioned high paying because at the end of the day, we all want sustainability, stability in our life. We don't want to be in a situation where we are not even sure about the food in 3 times food in a day, right? But how much is important for you to analyze. So how much is important for you, right? How much do I need? I need to satisfy my hunger. I need to satisfy the small goals that I have in my life. I need money, enough money to take care of my family, to take care of my life, and probably enough money to feed my children good food, to put them in good schools, right? But what do we think? That no, enough, there is nothing called enough money. That is where it gets high on you. So in that aspiration to earn more and more and more and more, you end up exhausting yourself, you end up feeling empty, you end up not living a life that you should have lived, right? Money is definitely important, but you need to identify how much money is important for you. How much do you need for you to feel satisfied? There has to be a limit. It cannot be limitless because once after a point, if you keep earning, all your life goes into earning and into feeling depressed and stressed and bad. And by the time it comes to enjoy with that money, you're no more. I've seen certain examples in my own life. People who have been earning, like literally earning, putting in all the effort, forgetting what is day and what is night, just earning and earning and earning for them to enjoy, saying that I'll enjoy when I'm 40 years old or 50 years old. Are you sure you'll be alive when you're 40 years old or 50 years old? Are you even sure that you'll be alive after this session? You aren't, right? I am not sure. I'm giving you all of this right now. It's highly likely that I might not be there in this world after this session. What am I doing all of this for? For a future that is unpredictable, right? Apart from that, I would say it's possible and very easy for people who earn decent money, decent salaries, to live a secure life and to secure their future by learning financial literacy, by having knowledge of investment, by having knowledge of how to manage your expenses at the first place. So somebody having blind amount of money can become a poor if he does not know how to spend his money and manage his money. At the same time, somebody earning a very decent amount to manage, to handle his family, to feed his family, and to save a little can actually make a very secure future for himself by knowing financial literacy, by knowing how to manage expenses, by knowing how to invest that. So maybe invest your time more into these things that add value to your life, that make you capable of understanding how to manage the resources that God has gifted you, rather than always thinking and feeling bad about the fact that I should have been more rich, I should have been more rich. Because there's always a limit, guys, and you have to decide your limit that how much. Ask yourself, how much do I need? How much money do I need to survive? How much? The answer cannot be limitless, because there is always a difference between a man's need and want. The first goal should be to satisfy your needs. If you have extra, satisfy your wants. And if you are intelligent, then satisfy your needs and invest the money for your.
That's a very wonderful one. Now you're watching Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian, and today, believe me, we've had a lot. We've had fantastic submissions from Lavpreet Kaur from Punjab, India, and believe me, today is one of the great record we've created on the show, spending all about 2 hours. This is the first time we're gonna have that, and that is because the submission she's been given has been authentic and has been informative enough for the world to hear and to learn from. Now, before I ask the last question, I would like to tell you that you can get to Lafrit Kaur on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Although she's going to introduce herself fully to that, she's going to tell you about it, how you get to her. She's going to drop it right on the comment section after this time now, so that you can pick it from there. Because we do not have time for many introductions right now, again, because of many things to be done today. And, it's Sunday, you just have to loosen out. And today is Sunday, just loosen out, take some tea, hang out with friends, and that's it. Although in India right now, I think we should be approaching like 7 p.m. or less. All right, so that's just it. Okay, now the last, but not the least of the question is, where do you see Lapreet in 5 years to come? And while answering that question, your final message to your people in India, especially those who actually see you today and the world at large.
Well, thank you. I see myself, if I see myself 5 years from now, I just want to be an honest journalist. I want to be one of those journalists who redefines the meaning of journalism for people, which has been unfortunately disrupted and it has been exploited at this moment. So I really want to contribute to Indian media and make it better. I want to contribute to international media with all ways possible. I want to excel as a great human being, most importantly, putting those values that I learn and I keep learning and I will be learning until my last breath to my profession as well. So the first go-to goal for me always is to become a better human being, a better friend for people, a better daughter, a better mentor, a better teacher, and a better professional by learning all the things possible. Otherwise, my promise is to be a student all my life. And that's what should be my message for you guys. So, we have discussed a lot of things in today's episode. In the last 2 hours, we have touched everything right from life to profession to SDGs to the world to the importance of global relevance to the importance of youth empowerment. I would say it's your time to shine. It's your time to rise and shine, I would say. So don't hesitate. Even if you this is the time, the age between 20 to 30 years where you can go all out and experiment and nobody will question you. Trust me on that. Of course, for some people there are certain restrictions. They can't always dedicate that much time to experimentation. But if you have it, just do it. And as soon as you realize your passion and you know it is practically possible to achieve it, please work on that. Please work on that. And don't give up, because you know I started from being in my pre-boards in class 12 in chemistry and in mathematics. I used to be such a bad mathematician, such a bad one. I almost failed my pre-boards in my class 12, and I almost failed organic chemistry. And ends up that I'm a gold medalist in organic chemistry. And I did it. I got the highest marks in chemistry and very good marks in mathematics as well. So, there are points in life when you'll feel that you should give up. There'll be points in life when you'll feel that it's not worth it to put this much effort into something. But if you really want to achieve it, I think when you know that something is not letting you sleep, something you are passionate about, you can do it at any hour of the day. When something you're doing is making you happy and you don't even feel the workload, take it up as your career and think of it as a career, think of it as your life, because that's going to keep you happy throughout. Otherwise, take care of your mental health, give utmost importance to mental peace, give importance to creating a sustainable community wherever you go, because in today's world, working and networking are two important things to remember if you want to shine in the world, right? So these are the two things you always have to carry along and you have to focus on. And yes, while doing all of this, while listening to this conversation, while living your life before you sleep, make sure that you introspect into the day what all you did. What I did was how I did it. Was it right? Was it wrong? Did I go wrong somewhere? Did I go, away from my goals and my expectations at some point? Maybe I should correct it. Ensure that you are making your loved ones you know, saying that you respect them, you are thankful for their presence in life. Be grateful. Be very, very empathetic towards people. People don't need your sympathy, they just need your empathy. They just need you to understand them. And that's how you can avoid most of the chaos that's happening in the world. Start understanding people from their competence. Start being grateful to all that you have. Start thinking of all positive things. And whenever you feel down or low, just look back to all the happy moments you've had. There is so much to be happy, and all of us are so lucky that we have two hands, 2 feet, we have a functioning body, we can speak, we can see, we can feel each other. What about those who don't have these privileges? Just think of them once, and you'll know that you are already so blessed for you to be called as, oh, my life is so sad, oh, my life is so depressing, oh, my life does not give me this or that or this or that. You're already very, very blessed, and you should be feeling that blessing every single day. The moment you get up, the moment you go to your bed, introspect, be grateful, look at all those blessings and thank God for it, and just say it to yourself, I will do it because I will to do it. And I can do it because I have it in me. I want to do it. I love it, right? Just being very kind, while you are walking, while you are living right now, you never know when's your last moment and when's your last day. So make it worth, make every moment count, and leave your impression behind for people to remember you while smiling. Nobody will remember your face, your physical features, but they'll definitely remember what kind of an impact you could create on their hearts and in the society, right? So make every moment count, because it's almost like a backward counter running. You don't know when you stop breathing, the moment you will not be here. So, the moment that you are here, live in the present, make the most of it, be positive, don't forget to count your blessings, don't forget to introspect and find out where you possibly went wrong and correct it immediately. And don't fear from making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes, right? It's absolutely okay. And share your knowledge, your resources, your experiences, your love with people around you. That's all. I think I can go on speaking, but this would be enough. This would be
All right. So, okay. That's a very good one, a very beautiful one. Yes, we are happy today that we could be able to reach out to everyone. You see, anytime I want to make a very strong point, I remove my glasses. Yes, I should, because you can see my face for real and actually notify me. Yes. We are very happy today, and we want to thank you for coming to the program, to the show, Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian. And we believe that, yes, globally, you are relevant. And we wish you good luck in your master's degree pursuit. And we believe that you're going to come out a very strong personnel in the media world tomorrow and everlasting in life. Now, we are very happy for you, and we pray all the way for you for good success. And we believe that you're going to do the world proud, as you're doing right now on the show, Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian. Now, I want you to remove your glasses for people to see you very well.
Sure, sure. Please see me. Please see me.
Okay. Now you can see the beautiful face that we've been talking with for the past 2 hours now. She's been able to share a lot of insight to us, and we've been very happy. But I want to tell you one thing. I'm not going to leave you to start disturbing her on her personal media, all right? Don't disturb her. If you want to disturb her, talk on global relevance, especially you men. Don't disturb her. Disturb her on global relevance and personal development. Don't say, give me your number. Don't say, give me your time and all that because she doesn't have time for that. All right, now that was a very light note. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you. And we believe that the world is better with you, and we believe that everything will be great. Now, on Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian, today we're going to drop the curtain and we'll say anything you do, do for the best. Anything you know for the best. Anything you can be able to create, create for the best, innovate for the best, and guide yourself with good speech and good people around you. That is how you're going to make it great in life. Don't try to feel yourself too much. Don't feel bossy. Feel like a servant leader anywhere you go. Make sure that you see people as your own self so that when you itch yourself with something, you understand how it pains. It is not how big a head is, but the quality and quantity of information that is there. And that is why we are telling you that we are not going to stop. Anybody doing something great outside there, we are going to locate you anywhere you are. And if we can't locate you, do like Lavpreet. Write to us. Let's see what you're doing. But we will not bring you on if you're not doing something great. We don't do that. We bring people with high profile and personnel in all countries, all over the world. And such people are Lavpreet Kaur and many other people there. So now the year is running out, and we believe that we've actually done many great things, despite the fact that COVID-19 pandemic is all over the world. People are doing great things, and we're so much happy. So, Lavpreet, your message to your family, I want you to thank them, and I want you to give your final remarks on Solution Dreamers Network while we say goodbye for life.
Yes. Thank you so much for everybody who has been hearing to me, has been patient enough to be here for the last 2 hours. Thank you, Kabir, Mr. Egalitarian in brackets, for being such a wonderful host, for being such a wonderful friend. He's been talking to me and helping me out with all the technicalities and everything in the last 1 week, I suppose. And he's been the most wonderful host today, this evening. Thank you so much for that, for such an humble welcome, for such a humble, your support throughout the process. I congratulate the Solutions Network for coming up with this idea because I think we need more of these initiatives. We started the podcast with a similar thought process, and I congratulate everybody who is doing a similar job of connecting youth across the globe. That's the need of the hour because together, 1 and 1 is 11. Together, we are the strength, and it's possible for us to connect beyond the political advantages. So, countries connect for their own purposes, for political advantages, for many other reasons, okay? But youth, when we are connecting, I think we are connecting heart to heart. We are connecting for actually doing something for our countries, for ourselves, for our communities. And that's the purest form of connection possible between countries, right? And I really, really congratulate the entire team, Mr. Egalitarian, who is my dear friend Kabir, for all the wonderful things that you've been doing. And you are such an inspiring personality. Keep smiling, keep making people smile, keep motivating them to do better because we need more of those people who don't pull you down, who don't feel jealous, but take out time to actually appreciate your presence, right? To actually appreciate what you're doing. Not that we should be living for somebody's appreciation. But when someone does that, it really feels good and it empowers you and pushes you to do better. And you're doing that job for the global youth. I really congratulate you for that. It was such a pleasure to work with you. And I really recommend people to get in touch with Kabir and get to know him more, get to learn from him more, and possibly also participate in this movement that he started. It's a great initiative, and I congratulate and I'm sending lots of love and positivity to you, your family, to all the listeners who are connected to us right now, and to everybody who will ever hear to listen to me, via this recording. Thank you so much.
So we say goodbye for now, and next is if anybody that is gonna come, we're ready for you. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for that call. We're waiting for that text. We're waiting for that moment where you're gonna call Solution Dreamers Network on Expose It with Mr. Egalitarian. I love you so much. I love everybody. I love everybody in this whole wide world. So far, you're doing something great. I am Ogunkayode Kabiru O, and people call me Mr. Egalitarian because I love equality. And everywhere I go, I keep it real and I don't discriminate. Either you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're an idol worshiper, so far you're human and you're doing something great. I understand you. That is how it should work. So don't ever go into things you cannot do. Go into things you can do so that you can be a super doper in there. So bye for now and take good care of yourself. Bye bye.